I love under eye patches because they're basically like little push-up bras for your under eyes. Pycnogenol. When I first heard of this ingredient, I didn't think skincare. It's actually been used in medicine for things such as heart health and yes, even joint pain. But Pycnogenol is an amazing skincare ingredient too that is actually one of my favorites. This is The Ordinary's Pycnogenol 5%, and this is one of my absolute little favorite camping buddy guys. And the reason I call it a camping buddy is that it literally smells like my childhood camping out of the back of my parents' SUV on the California coastline. This little antioxidant serum is amazing, both because of how it works, also because of how inexpensive it is, and it does come from pine trees. Now, while it comes from pine trees, it can also be derived from grapes, and there are a few other places as well, but this little serum is only $10.11 from The Ordinary. It's a water-free formula, and if you're looking for an antioxidant boost, there are some studies that show that Pycnogenol is actually more potent. It's a better antioxidant than vitamin C. Some medical studies have also looked at Pycnogenol for things like melasma and pigmentation. Now, when you're looking at medical studies for Pycnogenol, do remember that some people are taking it orally, so as a medication that they eat and ingest, and others are putting it on the skin. But that's what we're going to talk about here, so that if you want to spend $10.11 on one of these little skincare superheroes, you understand how and why. Pycnogenol should be used in the morning because it is an antioxidant serum, but it could be used at night as well. It really doesn't matter, and because it's such a great antioxidant, it's pretty good at keeping itself stable. This formula specifically from The Ordinary should not be eaten, but it is an anhydrous solution, meaning it has no water. It's a little bit of an oily texture, but it does soak into the skin quite nicely. As you can see, it is so antioxidant rich that it is this orangey, almost red color. And the great news is that while it goes onto the skin, it doesn't stain skin and it doesn't stain clothing. But that being said, some people have noticed that if they apply it directly, it does leave a little bit of like an orange tinge to their skin if they're using a lot of it. So I'm gonna give you some options. Obviously, the best ways to use an antioxidant are in the morning under your sunscreen. And you could apply this as a serum under your sunscreen or literally as a moisturizer. You don't need a moisturizer with this because it does have a little bit of slip to it. You apply this, you let it soak in for a little bit, and then you apply your sunscreen right after. Now, I would not recommend mixing this with your sunscreen because the way sunscreens work is that they are a shield between your skin and the sun. And sunscreens are best applied to dry skin. It's kind of best to do your skincare routine and then wait for like 5 minutes after before applying your SPF. If you're gonna use this, the same rule holds. You put this on with clean hands in the morning after cleansing or toning. Use this as a serum. You can skip the moisturizer, wait 5 minutes, and apply your sunscreen. Now, what if this isn't hydrating enough for you, or you did want to kind of supercharge this at night? This little tip actually comes from one of our beautiful butterflies on Discord. She was saying that the Pycnogenol was too oily for her. It didn't really work, but she ended up mixing it with a moisturizer. Now, in general, mixing skincare can be difficult because depending on what you mix, you might actually ruin the formulation. You might ruin the pH or how it's supposed to penetrate into the skin, and it could be a horrible mess. But I did find a couple of options that work quite well. Specifically, if you're going to mix your Pycnogenol in with a moisturizer, it's going to give it a thicker feel, and it's going to help keep it on your skin instead of feeling oily, slippery, and really lightweight. The best moisturizers to mix it in with are simple ones that don't have a bunch of fragrance or a whole bunch of additives. Also, because this is such a potent antioxidant formula and it does boost up vitamin C and vitamin E, it's great to use with a moisturizer that has vitamin C, vitamin E, or that's lacking antioxidants, so this gives it a little helping hand. This is the Versed Dew Point Moisturizing Gel Cream, and this is a fantastic gel moisturizer that is not only inexpensive and fragrance-free, but it works really well with the Pycnogenol. Because of the way it mixes in, you can actually get this Pycnogenol to really disperse. And now this helps to take away some of that orange color, but still give you hydration on the skin. It's definitely more of a lightweight gel feel, so I would recommend this for those who are oily or combination skinned, but the Versed Dew Point is really perfect to mix in with this. And as a bonus, you could also put this on the body. If you do want to mix it with something a little bit thicker, The Ordinary does have the natural moisturizing factors in HA. This is a pretty decent one to do, but you just kind of have to rub it in a little bit more in your hand before you apply it to the face. But I found that it disperses really well. Another good one is my cruelty-free version of CeraVe. It's the Ceramedics one. I get it in a big tub. It's chunky and it's thick, but if you mix just literally the size of a pinky fingernail of that in with a little dropper full of this, you're able to make a really thick and beautiful moisturizer that has this antioxidant potency. And again, because this is such a powerful antioxidant, you could do this during the day, but I love to do this kind of as a sleep mask at night, especially because as an antioxidant, it seems it can support the skin barrier, it can protect you from environmental stressors. I love this if you live in in a big city. If you live in a large city with pollution, you pretty much need antioxidants under your sunscreen every day, and this one is perfect. But even for potential pigmentary issues or fine lines and wrinkles, this isn't going to reverse those dramatically, but this can supplement the other products in your routine without really interacting with them or destroying them. If anything, it boosts them up. Now, I also have a little trick for using this in the eye area. This is one of my favorites, especially because you know that I don't like eye creams, but I do like under eye patches. I love under eye patches because they're basically like little push-up bras for your under eyes. If you have puffiness in the under eye area, they actually hold that puffiness back into your face, especially if you put them in the fridge. Now, Pycnogenol doesn't really help with puffiness, but it can help with pigmentation. So if you are prone to purpleness or to pigmentary issues down here, you could use a little bit of this in the under eye area, and it could be extremely helpful. Now, the way that I play around with this is doing like my own little weekend under eye antioxidant treatment. I have these little Japanese froggy-based cotton pads. These are fantastic. Aya, who's an esthetician that I get to work with, she's on our team, and she actually helps build people free skincare routines through email who are struggling with their skin, and that's why we love doing what we do. But she knows a ton of great skincare products, and she actually got me hooked on these. They're so fluffy and bouncy and lovely. Well, I take one, I fold it in half, and I literally turn this into like a little Pycnogenol under eye push-up bra. Now, if I were to take these and just soak these in Pycnogenol, I'd be using way too much of this. So what I actually do is pre-moisten these. I wouldn't use water, just use something that's really gentle, like a toner or a spray that you use all over your face. This is from Bankson. This is the Galactomyces Ferment Toner. There's also the Galactomyces Ferment Serum. There's also the Galactomyces Ferment Essence that they have. I love both of them, but for the price, this is something that's affordable and it absorbs into these cotton pads so well. And the purpose for doing this, or using just any toner of your choice, just make sure that it's eye safe and fragrance free, is that this pre-soaks the cotton pads. It cools them down and it provides hydration so that when I put the Pycnogenol on, I can actually use the Pycnogenol and pretty much put it right in the under eye area. And then I can really push it up and blend it in there. And then I'm using this little guy to basically hold it on. I don't touch the dropper to my skin because I don't want to get bacteria from my skin into the product. As you can see, this has been pre-moistened, but I can literally just push this up in the under eye area. And as you can see, it already starts to absorb some of that color from the Pycnogenol, but at least it's keeping it in this under eye area, and I'm getting the most for my money. I will literally leave these right here on my face for 10-15 minutes on a weekend, and it's a really great way to brighten my under eyes, and then this mechanical pressure helps me with the under eye bags and puffiness that I struggle with. Again, I don't have a ton of fine lines and wrinkles. Pycnogenol has been shown to help with fine lines and wrinkles in some studies, but I would say, look at the data. It's shown to be a fantastic antioxidant, more potent than vitamin C, and it's phenomenal to use under sunscreen or to boost up vitamin C and vitamin E. So use it in the morning, although you can use it at night. It plays really well with other products, so make sure that you are testing things when you layer them, but it's kind of hard to mess this up in your routine. And for the price, it's literally $11.10. It can't be beat, and it reminds me of my childhood nostalgia. I know it can be a little bit intimidating just because it is such a bright orange color and people don't know how to use it, but again, if that color bothers you, here are the ways that I use it, that I approach it, and why it is one of my favorites in my routine. I'm gonna keep these on my face. I'm actually probably gonna put one on my chest or my back, especially because I have a pimple here and I do not want it to hyperpigment. But let me know if you'd consider trying this, or if you have, how it's been in your routine. Overall, remember to stay hydrated both orally and topically. Reapply that SPF. Putting this underneath is a great choice. And always remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I love you, and I can't wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.